We're going to be talking about the chessboard theory. And so the chessboard theory, it plays off of the crabs in a bucket theory. And I honestly like this one way more. And because I've given so much information across this board today about starting with the things that hold us back and keep us burnt out, and how being burnt out causes us to go against other people as ourselves, and how going against other people as ourselves puts us on this board where we feel like we are powerless and that others have power over us. It's given me a lot of insight. It's given me a lot of game, and it's given me the information necessary to make this make more sense. So make sure you go back and watch those videos also. But with the chessboard theory, I have a theory that the reason why you feel powerless, the reason why you feel like you haven't got to the level and you haven't got to the king status, right? You know all about the chessboard pieces, the king, the queen, the pawn, the bishop. I don't really know all the chess names and pieces, but I know that there are different levels and different ranks. And in life, at least for men, we're all trying to rank up in some way, in some shape or form. And we feel like at some point we're the king, and at some point we're the pawn. And maybe you always feel like the king, and I'm here to tell you that you are the pawn. And here's the reason why. The reason why you feel like maybe on the opposite end of spectrums that maybe you're the pawn and maybe you're the king is because in some way you are both. And we are all both. It's just about realizing that fact. The way that I want to break this down is by using the chessboard. And so we are all on individual chessboards, whether we like it or not. We have no choice. It's just a society we live in. There's structure, there's rank, there's government, there is, hierarchies, there's managers, there's all these different titles and all these different things that we give ourselves to make each other and one another feel more or less powerful. And that's how we leverage, titles and structure and government, is because in life we're all seeking power over our decisions, power over our life, power over our choices. And there has to be some way, right, to give us that sense, to give us that feeling. And so they created government. And so the government and the dark web and whatever, I'm not going to get too political here, but in basic form, it's a big chessboard, right? And it's bigger than just the government. It's like a universal chessboard, universal chessboard. And on this universal chessboard, there's these individual chessboards, right? Not only is this the entire universe's chessboard, but all these dots and all these squares, they have chessboards within them too. So it looks much more dicey. It looks much more, granular. It's much smaller squares within them. And so even me drawing it right now, I wouldn't even be able to draw the amount of squares. There's infinite amount of squares, an infinite amount of chessboards within one, right? And so if you take all the infinity amount of chessboards within one and you apply it to all these, what you'll see is that we are truly much smaller than we think in the chessboard that we operate on. If we think we're the king, I'm here to tell you, you are behind. If your goal is to be the king, you have some work to do. But I'm not here to tell you how to be the king. I'm not here to tell you, how to advance in life and do, metaphysical Andrew Tate advancement techniques. I'm here to inform you that there are other worlds that you have not yet realized about, or there's other things in your life that are, stopping you from growth, which is honestly my whole purpose with this channel, is to help you grow and to push you farther than you ever thought you can push yourself. And by giving you this realization, I hope that you're able to take it and take the information provided in this video and then be able to apply it to getting what you want, whether that's power, whether that's money, status, cars, clothes, girls, whatever your individual board is. And so I want to give a few examples of potential boards. A lot of the people in this community I'll give like 5, probably want out of life. And not only is there individual boards for individual goals and individual wants and needs, but there's boards outside of that thing, right? So let's say you get to a point where, you have all the cars, clothes, money, girls, this, that, and third, but there is more even outside of that, which is why you see people and celebrities go into politics, and politicians go into, world affairs, and world affairs go into here, and people just keep stepping up is because they're getting so much power and they're able to conquer their individual board that they want more. This video is meant to stop you from wanting more and being grateful with what you have. But I'm still gonna help you. If you stay to the end, I'm gonna help you become the best on your board. What I really want for you is gratefulness, but I'm still gonna give you the tips and tricks to be able to conquer your board. So let's say your board is girls, all right? Let's say your board is money. Let's say your board is career, let's say your board is sports, whatever your board is, let's say your board is bored. let's say you want to control the board. Not possible. Not possible, pal. The board is uncontrollable. The board operates itself. The board is universal. But I'll tell you how. And so let's say you want to run the girls' board. You want to be Mr. Bitches. You want to take this board right here. You want to bring it over here. And you want to find out how you can conquer and become a king on here. First, you have to realize that on this girls' board, there are plenty of viable options. There's plenty of strong, worthy kings. There's plenty of people who are already doing it at the top level that they think that it can be done at, right? So you got Mr. Bitches 1, Mr. Bitches 2, Mr. Bitches 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, infinity, and beyond. And so how can you start to become a king for yourself on this board? You have to first understand the rules of this board. This is not just regular chess. There's different rules for every single board. You have to understand that to be Mr. Bitches, you have to have the money, right? You have to have the status. On this individual board, though, remember, this is only one board. You have to have the cars, the clothes, and etc., right? And I kind of spoiled it for you by telling you already that this is only one board. But if you remember the fact that this one board has boards within it, you can start to understand ways to become a king for yourself by defining the rules of your own game. So for example, instead of trying to live up to this small board, like this, all these rules right here, they only go to one piece of the bitches board. They only go to one just small board. And yeah, there may be a lot of bad shit on this board. They may be Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if that's your type or whatever, but there may be some bad shit, Kim K, on this one board that want the money, status, cars, and clothes. But there's plenty other opportunities as long as you define what it means for yourself and the rules of your own game. You can have the same girls on that board, but you're going to have to do a lot more self-work. You're going to have to determine who you are first, right? Because if you don't know who you are, how could you even compete with others who are using all these things to define themselves, right? Yeah, it's cool to have money and status and cars and clothes and etc., but do these people even really have a true sense of self if they're using it to be able to get to the bitches? So imagine if you just took the time to understand who you are and what you want to do out of life, what you want out of bitches, why you're even on this board in the first place. You could dominate the board because everyone else is just, they're just a reflection. They're just one thing. They're just this or they're just that, right? You could have all this and more. And that's how you become the king of any board. That's how you really conquer the bitches board, or, which is never truly possible because it's like you can have a certain amount of bitches, but you go to a new server and now you're the smallest fish on the board, or you're the smallest pawn, or you're back to square one because the ways in which this new place defines being Mr. Bitches, you don't exactly fit that. And so you're not going to go back and try to become this again or try to become what the board defines. You're going to find a way and you're going to stick to yourself. You're going to stick to who you are as a person, and that will always keep you a king. The way in which you stay a king and get all these things, and to be a king and to have power means to have control over your life and your decisions, is to not try to play the game and play the board that you're on. It's to try and not try. It's to define who you are and use that as a means to get to the goal. Instead of working your whole entire life and lifting and getting a bag and doing sports and career and doing this one thing just to get this one goal, if only you just changed who you are, you could have all that and more. And the way to do it is to become grateful for what you have. Realize that you're not going to play the game that is set out in front of you. You're not going to even operate within this board, this small board of bitches, this small board of money, this small board of career, this small board of sports, this small board of thinking that you're smarter than the board. You're going to operate on the universal board. And how do you operate on the universal board is you understand that you have control over the universal board by you having control over yourself and your actions and what you stand for in life and what you define as the board itself, right? What you define as success itself. As soon as you pick a definition, as soon as you understand who you are, as soon as you pick a goal, as soon as you pick something that doesn't have to do with just like, with just that, or with just getting this, with just getting sports, with just having a good career, just getting money, just getting girls, as soon as you pick something beyond that and stay to the end to figure out what that is, you can not only conquer the board, you can not only be the king of your own board, but you could run the damn table, right? Now I want you to realize, when you run the table, you're only running one table, right? Okay, yeah, you worked your way up on this board of this infinity board, and you're the top guy on this board, right? You feel like you're the man. My guy, you are only one king on this maybe a bigger board now, but if you just took a look around you, there's a bigger board surrounding you that you're just neglecting because now you want to protect the board that you're on. Now you want to hold this board down and let nobody take this board instead of looking for more that you could do outside of yourself, outside of the board that you're on. It's time to think bigger. It's time to get around people who are thinking bigger and who have already advanced past the board that you are on and know how to get off of it, know how to become a king, know how to stop being a pawn. It's time to take a look around and realize that you are only one big fish and there's plenty of other bigger fish, but you're not swimming around and going to find that pond. You're not seeking out the information. You're not seeking out the communities. You're not going out and finding out ways to get there. And the reason why is because you're satisfied. You're satisfied. You're comfortable. You're trying to hold down this one board. I don't want nobody to take my queen. I don't want nobody wanting to take my pawns. I don't want nobody to take, all this shit that I work so hard for. That shit means nothing. That's nothing. Go find a bigger board. I'm here to tell you, in the way that you go find a bigger board, in the way that you keep progressing past this one small board and continue to grow and progress in life, is to fall in love, not with the board and not with being the king and the leader and telling niggas what to do and controlling their lives, but instead falling in love with the journey. And how do you fall in love with the journey? You continuously remind yourself of who you are and what you're doing it for and when you're going to do it and where you're going to do it at and why you even do it in the first place at all, which is the most important one. It's the why. If you fall in love with the why, not only will you ever peak, but nigga, you are operating on a universal board that not many are operating on. Why are the most successful people just continuously getting more successful? Why is everyone that's getting money is just continuously getting more money? Why is everyone that's getting more bitches just continually getting more bitches? Like, how is this exponential mathing? is because they're not falling in love with just the one bitch. Fuck that one bitch. There's plenty of other bitches. And that's another story why niggas cheat. But focus here on falling in love with the why. And you will never peak in life. You can have everything on the entire board, but you can't be complacent, and you cannot fall in love with the idea of being a king, because your kingdom and your small conquering of this one board means nothing and does nothing for you but just keep you stuck in this one place, right? Why do kingdoms fall, and why do kingdoms not expand, and why do kingdoms peak, and why this and why that? Is because they try to protect the fortress. They go on defense. A lot of you guys watching this video are on defense in life. You're not operating on the offense. You're not trying to go conquer more. Why not go out and fight and die on the journey? Why not die on the journey? At least you did something, right? At least you died trying to get to the next step. At least you died trying, like 50 Cent said, like, why are you comfortable? Nigga, die trying. Nigga, die advancing. You'll go out way more of a king. Niggas will remember you way more if you go out fighting instead of trying to just, I don't know, just like become a king and just keep the fortress down and build walls and try not to advance and conquer more areas and conquer more boards and get around more people that can help you get better. And so if you want to get around more people, if you want to get around entrepreneurs, you want to get around niggas with the most bitches, the most girls, the most careers, the most, I don't know. Don't come to them with this bullshit. Come to them with some gratitude, which is the reason why you stayed to the end of the video. Obviously, yeah, you want to get those things, but how do you go beyond it? It's gratefulness. Which is why we started off with being burnt out, and why being burnt out boils down to you not being grateful, is because if you were grateful, it would never truly burn out. Like, if you were grateful for the good, the bad, the ugly, you'd never even really think about burnout, because you wouldn't be satisfied. You would be grateful for the fact to even have that thing. You know what I'm saying? And not only could you not burn out because you have gratefulness, the value of gratefulness, but you won't even be competing with others in the crabs in the bucket theory, right? Because now you realize that everyone in that bucket is just you, and you're grateful for all these parts of you. And not only can you leave the chessboard by not thinking about just this small kingdom of girls and bitches and money and career sports, by providing gratefulness to those who have it and can teach you. But now we can get into how to metagame. Make sure you subscribe to learn how to metagame. I'm metagaming, bro. I just missed a call because I'm metagaming. If you want to learn how to metagame, if you've already learned how to escape burnout, and you learn how to get out of the bucket, and you learn how to escape the chalkboard, and you want to learn how to apply all this information, these 3 videos, and video number 4 that I'm going to put out right now, make sure you subscribe. I'm fucking up every single chalk because it just keeps breaking. But it's your boy, Coach MUEL. I'm official like a referee with a whistle. I'm coaching you on the rules of your game, and I'm showing you how to win at them.